Hello. The knowing-doing gap. The knowing-doing gap refers to the disparity between what people know and what they actually do. This concept is often discussed in the context of organizational behaviour, management and leadership. The central idea behind the knowing-doing gap is that many individuals and organizations possess knowledge and information about what needs to be done, but they struggle to implement that knowledge effectively. We have all experienced this. We know to do something, but we don't do it. We know to eat healthy, but we don't always do it. We know to exercise, but we don't always do it. There are several reasons why this gap exists. Lack of implementation. People or organizations may face challenges when it comes to translating knowledge into action. Barriers such as resource constraints, resistance to change, or unclear processes can hinder effective implementation. Cultural and behavioural factors. Organisational culture and individual behaviours play a significant role. Even if individuals have the knowledge, the prevailing culture or personal habits may discourage or obstruct the application of that knowledge. Incentives and rewards. If there are no incentives or rewards tied to applying knowledge, individuals may not feel motivated to bridge the knowing-doing gap. Creating a system that recognizes and rewards action can help encourage the application of knowledge. The information overload. In some cases, the sheer volume of information available can be overwhelming, leading to a situation where individuals may struggle to prioritize and act on what they know. Poor communication. Miscommunication or lack of effective communication can contribute to the knowing-doing gap. If information is not communicated clearly, or if there are misunderstandings, the likelihood of successful implementation decreases. Addressing the knowing-doing gap can often involve a combination of organizational changes, leadership development, and a focus on creating a culture that values action and continuous improvement. Encouraging a mindset of learning through action, providing the necessary resources, and aligning incentives with desired behaviours are essential steps in closing the knowing-doing gap. Here are some approaches to bridge the gap between knowing and doing. Set clear goals and prioritise. Define clear, actionable goals that align with the overall objectives. Prioritise tasks based on their importance and impact on what needs to be done. Create implementation plan. Develop a detailed plan outlining how knowledge will be translated into action. Break down the plan into manageable steps to facilitate implementation. Foster a culture of action. Encourage a culture of action that values action and learning from experiences. Reward and recognize individuals and teams for successful implementation and efforts. Align incentives. Ensure that incentives and rewards are aligned with desired behaviours and outcomes. Recognize and celebrate successful implementation efforts. Provide resources and support. you need to allocate sufficient resources, including time, budget, manpower, to support the implementation. Offer training and development programs to enhance the skills necessary for effective action. Encourage experimentation. Create an environment that encourages experimentation from learning from failures. Foster a mindset that views mistakes as opportunities for improvement. And effective communication. Communicate clearly and consistently about goals, expectations, and progress. Encourage open dialogue and feedback to address any concerns or misunderstandings. Leadership involvement to demonstrate leadership commitment to closing the knowing-doing gap. Leaders should model the behaviour they expect from others and actively participate in the implementation process. With continuous learning, to foster a culture of continuous learning and adaptation to new information. Encourage individuals to stay updated on the industry trends and the best practices. It's good to monitor and evaluate. Establish metrics and key performance indicators to measure progress. Regularly evaluate the effectiveness of implementation efforts and make adjustments as needed. Empowered individuals at all levels, let them take ownership of the implementation process. Provide autonomy and support for individuals to make decisions that contribute to the closing of the knowing-doing gap. By combining these strategies, organizations and people can create a more conducive environment for translating knowledge into action and closing the knowing-doing gap. It's essential to recognize that overcoming the gap is an ongoing process that requires commitment, adaptability, and focus on continuous improvement. The leading to the gaps, a lot of it is bad habits, which can be changed, but need time and work to do so. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.